stands a force unbroken, with banners high and hearts awoken. The sound of pipes, our war is calling. Like thunderous waves, our duty is falling. Stand tall, together we fight, with courage found in every breath. We'll fight like lions, defy our death. In unity our hearts shall sing, the legacy of warriors through every reign. With battle cries we forge our fate, in fields of valor we elevate. As shadows loom, our spirits gleam. Brothers in arms, we are the dream. Fearless, we take the night, with courage found in every breath. We'll fight like lions, defy our death. In unity, our hearts shall sing, the legacy of warriors through every reign. As dawn breaks, we know our name.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday morning Paranormal Coffee Talk with Nighthawk and Eric. Eric's patiently waiting and taking care of the chat for me as I do the intro and all that, and go through some of the announcements and stuff that I have. As always, I claim fair use of any and all content under the Copyright Act of 1976, which makes allowances for purposes such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research, parody, and entertainment value under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. All right. Also, I use the UCut app and damn, I can't remember the other app for my intros. So I guess I'm just going to plug UCut app. So we'll go ahead and plug that one, which is a decent app because it's free. You watch a couple commercials and then you can do whatever you want to do. Anyways, let's see. Not all. Furthermore, I wish to acknowledge that and mention that during the podcast, they're not necessarily the opinions and viewpoints of the Nighthawk High Strange podcast channel, or AKA William Nighthawk, or even Eric. You know, depending on what we talk about, he'll let you know if it's his viewpoints or not. We at Nighthawk High Strange's YouTube channel and X channels, because I got to remove that Facebook channels now, merely bring you to the open format of discussion for the possibilities of the bizarre, the strange, the paranormal phenomena, supernatural, cryptid phenomena, UFO activity phenomena, all the weird shit that you see on a daily basis or experience in one's life. Okay, be friendly and respectful in the chat. Put all your questions in capital letters, and we'll go from there. Okay, so that being said, let me take that down and go through a couple things. Let me turn Eric's mic on here. Gotta get your mic on, Eric.
Oh, that's a scary thought.
There you go. All right, there you go. Anyways, we're going to get into a lot of weird topics tonight, and there's been some rumors going around the mill. I have been literally persecuted on Facebook lately, guys. So I am no longer going to have a channel or even possibly a personal web page on there. And what's funny about the persecution that I'm going through, and I don't even call it censorship, I call it persecution, okay? Because they're convicting you without having a trial. That's not the way, okay? But I repost a lot of stuff that people send me, and some of this stuff that I reposted for other people were questionable content, okay? Which doesn't make it my content, doesn't make it my belief, okay? So let me first explain that right off the bat, okay? Some of the stuff that I repost for people, I do it because they've been friends of mine a long time on there, and I do it out of mutual respect for them, okay? Which is what we're supposed to do, okay? But some of the political groups and religious groups out there are getting they're getting their diapers all wet because they're having these freakouts about stuff that's being reposted. Okay, so they basically banned me from doing videos and lives and stuff on Facebook for a while. So am I in Facebook jail? No, I'm still allowed to post on my regular account and stuff. I just can't do videos and live feeds anymore. So, you know, but yet they still get to put their commercials up on there whenever they want, and their questionable political crap all they want. Okay, which is ridiculous. Okay, it's complete censorship. Facebook, you're a fraud. You're a fake book. I hate you, and I want to get rid of you altogether. Okay, but unfortunately, I got to do it over time. Okay, because there's a lot of people on there that I want to stay in touch with, and I want the word to get out that I'm going to be doing this. So if everybody can shift over to my X account and to the YouTube channel, I would greatly appreciate it, because within the next week or two, those Facebook accounts are going to be gone. Okay, plain and simple. I give up on Facebook. Facebook is a waste of time. They're a glorified whorehound, as far as I'm concerned, and they always will be. And when they instituted the meta bots into that whole crap and the AI, they ruined it. Okay, they completely ruined it. Okay, so, and you all know how my AI battle has been going, and it has been rough, because as soon as you start speaking out about it, they start messing with you. Okay. That being said, there's something to be said about this, what's happening today. Okay, in the whole scope of things, and I think I can cover it under one word. Okay, and that word is called Saturn. Okay, now here's the thing. Okay, all the weirdness that's going on, all the wars and rumors of wars, and all the political garbage that's being spewed out, is for one purpose and one purpose only: to control you, to make you do things for them, to make their lives easier. Okay, I don't hold no political bias on either side. I don't give a rat's ass who you are politically. I don't care. Okay, I don't. What I care about is the whole of humanity. Okay, not, I don't give a shit about the rich. I don't give a shit about the moguls of industry and all that, the captains of industry, the Hollywood elites, the music industry elites. I don't give a rat's ass about any of you. Okay, I don't. Okay, and let me tell you why. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you that it's this: when you lose the respect for your fellow human being and the sanctity of life, you lost me. Okay, all the smut, and the BS going on in the world today, all the Saturn worshiping crap, all the ball worshiping crap, the Luciferian crap, even and I hate to say this, even the Roman Catholic bullshit, okay, is enough. It's enough. People are beat up with this stuff, and we're sick and fucking tired of it. Plain and simple, especially me. Okay, so that being said, boy, that felt good to get off my chest. Anyways, That being said, I want to put it out there that I feel sorry for the people that are in areas of the world that are putting up with, but I can see they're already starting to mess with me. My video keeps cutting out on me, and my audio keeps cutting out on me. This is just ridiculous. Anyways, that's my spiel. We're going to get into the whole Jim Carrey subjects, okay? Those. Give me 1 second, guys. Here, just give him to me. Sorry, guys. I had to get my little son here. So we're going to be graced with Jacob's presence today. There's Jacob. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. He's all happy now. But anyways, as I was saying, it's just a bunch of crap that's going on, and a lot of it is censorship, and that's why the Facebook accounts are going away. I believe that there's too much going on in the world that, and this is just going to be brief, too much going on in the world to put up with political bullshit and biases and religious bullshit and biases when humanity is meant to work together for one common goal, and that is to take care of one another like Jesus Christ intended it to be. Okay. My rant for the Sunday morning. I just want to make it as simple as that. That being said, like I said, we're going to get into the whole Jim Carrey thing and some of the weird, almost cloning, doubles, synthoids, whatever you want to call them, type of subject matter. And I'm going to put some pictures up here, Eric, if you want to tell me your thoughts on the cloning and the synthoids and stuff like that, and possibilities of even being doppelgangers for that matter. And just get your opinion on it.
Oh, we're ready? So this is something I've been talking about for a long time. And that is, the Joe Biden we thought that was on there wasn't really Joe Biden. I've told you guys multiple times, Jim Carrey was playing him. He was CGI'd. He was AI'd on several different stuff. I mean, a couple of other actors have played him from time to time. This has been going on for a long time. Back from time he was in office until current times, it wasn't Joe Biden. And if you seriously think it is, you're not thinking straight, because look how much different he looked in just a year's time frame from the time he was a senator until he was a president. Think about it. If you're an actor that's paid really good money to play one last actor role and never act again, you seriously going to give up that kind of money? He was put in there on purpose to expose the deep state. And look what all has happened. Look at all the exposure that's happened from this. I mean, it's pretty dang,
True.
knowledgeable.
Very
but this
true.
is something I've been saying for a long time.
The one thing we have to remember too, the one thing we have to remember too, though, Eric, is the fact that they do a lot with the CIA being incorporated into skin suits. If you say they call them synthetic latex suits,
Yeah.
And we've all seen the pictures of like Joe Biden's neck being wrinkled, on the back, like it was a seam from where the latex glue didn't stick. We've all seen the videos of people's eyes not being right coloring, the people's eyes being, the distance between the eyes is significantly off than what we're used to. So I mean, we know that they're trying to BS us with this phony crap. But my understanding is, why are they doing it? That's the thing. What's the main key to get from this? Are these people already unalived or put out of commission?
Some of them are,
I mean, what? Yeah, go ahead.
Some of them are unalived. The others are sitting in Guantanamo Bay. If you notice, during so-called Joe Biden's reign, you didn't see the lights on at the White House. And there's a reason for it. There was military tribunals going on there. There's military tribunals going on at Guantanamo Bay, too. All this was done for a reason. Why is this? Oh, that looks better. Sorry, I was trying to get up here to copy something so I can repost it on or actually, I'm just going to throw that up there. There was military tribunals going on during, so-called Joe Biden's reign. And that was happening at the White House. That was happening at Guantanamo Bay. All this stuff is been going on for a long time.
Got to take that K off of that name, Nighthawk, because it's N-I-G-H-T, not K-N-I-G-H-T.
Oh, crap. Well, actually, I copied that straight. Oh, shit. Okay. Let me, let's see. Is that still? Okay, good.
Sorry, guys.
I can't believe I did that. That's what I get for multitasking this morning. That's what I get for multitasking. Now I can't spell again.
You're going to be a rock star, Jacob. You know that? You're going to be a rock star.
Maybe that'll be better. I didn't even realize I was literally writing on my Ulfgar book, and so I was literally writing on that book when I made that earlier. But yeah, so I mean, when you got that many people doing that type of stuff, evil stuff going on in the world, and then people's got these military. I mean, look how many of these so-called, politicians, the rulers of the world, that look different after a certain individual's first term in office up until his second term. Look how much they changed in that time frame. Hey, thanks, Larry. You're awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see who the winner is. Congratulations to Bigfoot and Dwarf. You got a free membership thanks to Larry Sharp.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry. I'm sure BD actually will enjoy that. It's people like Larry that make the channel work too, and I appreciate them very much. They that stands out to me. The one thing that I mean, you talk about military tribunals and stuff, and we all know from being in the military what that entails. But a lot of the civilian population don't comprehend what you're meaning. So could you kind of go through that, if you would, please?
So, military tribunal, they can happen on several different subjects. Most of the time, it's treason. Which these were treason, crimes against humanity, and stuff like that, all punishable by death. Which there has been executions that have taken place due to treason and crimes against humanity. Now, so you'll have a panel of high-ranking military officers throughout all the militaries that stand up. It's a court. It's just, think about being in court, but you're in front of about 7 different military officers, high-ranking military officers. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Generally around 7. If memory serves me correctly, it's 7. Hey, Jason. So, and they listen to the reports of the prosecuting party, and they listen to the reports of the defending party. And if you're found guilty, then depending on the severity of your crime, what you're being charged with will determine the punishment that takes place. Normally, these type of military tribunals that's going on, they're serious crimes. I mean, and the punishment is death. You know, like when George Bush Sr. passed away and everybody at the funeral got an envelope, only one of the envelopes was different, and that was George Bush Jr.'s. And that's because he was unalived for treason and crimes against humanity through a military tribunal. That's what happened to him. And he told them, he told all those people that was at the funeral, that's why they looked weird, and they were looking around because they had fear, because in that letter it said, I told him everything. The only one that was different was George Bush Jr.'s, and his says, work with them, tell them what you know. They already know because I told them everything. So George Bush Jr. is actually working with the White Hats against all these deep staters, and his punishment is he'll have to spend the rest of his life in prison instead of being executed for his crimes. So this is what happens at these military tribunals. It's serious. It is a serious thing to be brought up on this.
Okay, now explain to everybody that's listening today about the difference between the white hats and the black hats. Okay,
so
and the symbolism behind that too is something to get into also. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So the white hats and black hats, that's actually a term that's just used. Basically, think of the old TV show Spy versus Spy. You had the good guy that was white and the bad guy that was black. That's probably one of the easiest ways to explain it. You know, white's always described as good. Black is always described as evil. So that's where the term white hat and black hat comes from. So you got forces that's out there that's trying to free humanity from all the persecution and all the slavery and all the stuff that's been going on for generations and generations and generations. Here in the United States, it came about during the supposed sinking of the Titanic, which it wasn't the Titanic that sank. That was sank to assassinate the 4 heads that was keeping the Rothschilds and Rockefellers out of the United States. That's when the Rothschilds and Rockefellers got their grips in here. That's when the IRS came about. That's when the Federal Bank Reserve came about and all that stuff, because that was brought in by the Rothschilds and Rockefellers. And that's why if you sometimes you'll hear a certain president called the 19th president, because the last true president of the United States, the Republic of the United States, was Ulysses S. Grant, the 18th president of the United States. So that's sometimes why you hear him referred to as the 19th president now. Because of that right there. Ever since that time had happened, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and all the people associated with them came in, and basically they found, hey, we can't have slaves anymore because people are against it. But if we give them a little bit of money, you're paying them to still be slaves, and they're happy. Well, they're getting rid of that. They took away our free will, our freedom, our rights. They took all that from us. So the white hats, the good people, is trying to get rid of that. And the black hats is the deep state, the swamp. And it's not just here in the United States, folks. If you actually pay attention to what's going on, you'll see countries around the world that's now being freed. They're standing up against their oppressors. This is literally World War III. It's just not a war in the conventional way of we thinking.
Not a conventional war.
Yeah. And that's literally what's been going on for the last 10 plus years. That's been going on behind the scenes. certain things are said, certain things are done. If you actually know what you're looking at, you'll know what they mean. And that's because they literally have been fighting it. And they're trying to take over. Certain people that we this country loved that they thought was unalive may be coming to the light very soon, because they've been working behind the scenes this whole time trying to get rid of this deep state. So that's what it is.
Well,
It's
here's
good
my
versus
thought on
evil.
the whole Jim Carrey thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just my thought on the whole Jim Carrey thing, and everybody in the chat is, everybody wonders what happened to Jim Carrey. Well, Jim Carrey, a lot of Hollywood, in fact, Hollywood was literally made and invented back in the early 1900s for basically spying on other countries and cryptid messages over mass media through movies and all that, in the beginning. And Hollywood kind of developed a rapport with secret missions and stuff overseas. Well, a perfectly good example of that, especially when you're dealing with cryptids, is the finger that was brought back by Jimmy Stewart's wife in her lingerie bag from Tibet. Okay, that's a perfect example of how those people were used in the day. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that's probably the most recent thing. But I believe Jim Carrey was doing this for the white hats to help ease the transition for the masses of the populations that are seeing this unfold, that can't make heads or tails out of it, to make it easier as a transition, so they don't naturally assume that something bad happened to somebody that they might actually have liked, which with Joe Biden, I'm not a big fan of Joe Biden anyways.
No.
I've watched his career his whole life, and I'm not a fan at all.
You mean his 265 years?
And he says another thing. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's I'm just not a big fan. I really am not. And it's ridiculous to think that we have sustainably given control to a certain percentage of the population of elitist, certain families, the 13 families that make up the cabal, the 11 company corporations that run the retail industry. I mean, this goes deep, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have off branch, you have the offshoots of it. You have the Foreign Relations, Commission. You have, the Black Cube societies, the Black Eye clubs, the Red Shoe clubs. You have all these type of things, and then you throw the religious separation, sects on top of it. I said sex, not sex, as with an X, sect. On top of it, then you got mass confusion, and that's literally what the Black Hats wanted, was mass confusion of humanity, because confusion and chaos breeds cooperation through fear, and that's just my 2 cents. So,
and that's the thing, is we've been so conditioned our whole life to believe in a certain way that when that is being torn down and free will's being built back up, we can't accept it, and we have to come up with an excuse, and we have to come up, well, this ain't real, this is what always happened, because we have been so brainwashed our entire life that this is the norm, that we cannot grasp that something good is actually happening. So until you free your mind, you'll never ascend to that next level of higher consciousness, because you're still too stuck on this is a theater, this is a show, this is a movie, this is a whatever it is you want to call it, because you can't accept that something good is happening. The only way you're going to ascend to that next level, that higher level of consciousness, is to realize it's not that way. And some will ascend, some will not, some will remain where they are. But you have to open your mind, your heart, and your soul, and you have to see things. And seeing is 100 is everything that that deals with it. And I'm sorry, I may piss some people off saying that. Hey, it is what it is. I'm not trying to piss nobody off, but the truth's the truth. The truth is, we are too brainwashed, and unless you break that whole thing deal,
the whole thing, the whole thing we have to remember is the fact that we're doing that this is being done for the sanctity of humanity, for the sanctity of life, for the respect of one another, to not for a one world government, not for a one world religion, not for a one world monetary system. It's being done because the swamp, the bad part of the shadow government has been corrupt and in control for so long that it's like having to remove a tumor. And trust me, tumors are something I know very much about. Okay. And when you have to remove a tumor, you have to make sure you get it. Okay. And that's where we're at. That's where we're at. So, when we see people that look different, let's not assume that they're clones or they're doppelgangers or anything else. Let's let our cards ride and just watch where the chips fall, because there's more to the story than we actually know. Okay, including myself. I mean, I'm not like, it's not like I'm in some political loop or some military elite loop. I'm not. I'm just an old freaking grunt. Okay, and that's all I'll ever be. Okay, and I'm okay with that. Okay. The other thing we have to keep in mind too when we deal with this type of subject matter is they always try to make everybody so sensitive.
Yeah.
Okay. And let me tell you, that's why they try to incorporate the Rainbow Club is what I call it. Okay. And I have nothing against the Rainbow Club. Okay. They can do their thing all they want as long as it doesn't involve me. Okay. That's that. I'm fine with that. Okay. But when it starts affecting our children and our grandchildren and the rights of parents being taken away from them, that's when I've got to lay down the law. And the fact of the matter is, we have given too much power to certain places throughout our lives, whether it was on purpose or whether it was negligence that we did it, which is mostly negligent, because we just kind of let it ride because, hey, this is America. Everybody's allowed their rights. Well, when you're giving those rights to everybody else that doesn't believe in those rights, what's going to eventually happen? You're going to end up be fighting for those rights in the future, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah. Okay. We're in the middle of that right now.
A lot of people just can't comprehend that. Okay.
I want a free world for my kids. I want people to believe whatever they want to believe. I want people to worship however they want to worship. That's our God-given right, our free will that was given to us by Yahuwah. That is our right. That's our birthright. And I want people to have that back. So, and it's not just these, people we see on the boob tube that's doing it. It's people like me. It's people like you. It's all of us coming together to fight this darkness that has taken hold of our world for generations. I've constantly, hey, Bounty, I've constantly said it multiple times that, it's not one man who is going to make this, this work. We have to realize it takes all of us. United we stand, divided we fall. Where one goes,
exactly. And thank you, Joanne, for that.
Yep. Where all goes one, one goes
But
all.
yeah,
I mean,
it goes.
we have to stick together.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's we have to look at this as a whole. There has been a group of I don't even know what to call them anymore, because they are so dark and demented and evil that I don't even think the term reptilian or demon can classify them in the right term,
That's
because
factions.
they are, yeah, they are literally, and I know I use this term a lot with the fallen angels and all that, but literally, folks, I mean, that's literally the type of powers that we're dealing with. Okay, the ultimate ones that we're fighting are those in charge. Okay, and you have to talk to to some of your minister friends out there. I'm sure there's several in the chat right now that are listening, that understand what I mean when I say that these evil powers, these possessive principalities, these evil governors, these demonic entities, that the only way to describe how evil they can be is in those terms. And we have to consider, times being as they are, that there is a lot more controlling what's going on in our world supernaturally wise than physically wise. Okay. And I think people are starting to realize that, starting to really see that. And to me, it just, to me, humanity and humanity making it to the other side, to live forever and not have to burn in hell is the thing for me. I have lived my whole life with near death experiences, with being told I had 6 months to live, all kinds of stuff, and even the dark arts and all that my whole life. I've had to deal with that and everything else weird and bizarre on top of it. And there's so much that we miss when we are distracted with those things. And I think it's that connection to humanity that we miss. I think it's that camaraderie that we used to have. The old days when you used to be out all day long with your buddies on your bicycles, and you'd make those ramps out of those wooden pieces of crap wood, and you jump over things, and you wouldn't come back until the streetlights came on. It's that kind of a mentality, and we used to be that way. We used to be out there in the outdoors, more active, more in tune with the world around us. And now we have incorporated technology, okay? And technology has taken our humanity from us. It really has.
It has.
And a lot of people don't see that.
That's why people get mad at me, because I don't text on my phone, and I don't message on my phone, and I don't talk on my phone all the time. That is a computer that does not have emotions. I love to talk to people face to face. I want to feel their energy. I want to connect with their energy. I want to connect with them. You cannot do that through a damn computer. So people get mad at me. It's like, why don't you text me back? Why? What's the point? I'm not on my phone all damn day long texting or talking. That's not me. I hate my phone. If I did not need my phone for work or to get a hold of my kids that's not here, I would not have the damn thing. I do not like it. Come, share my fire with me. Share my food with me. Share my water with me. Be there with me. Now I get it. There's distances
Mhm.
between a lot of us. So yes, I mean the phone is handy in that way. But I've got so many people like you just don't care about me because you don't message me every single day, dude. It how many times? And
Exactly.
I'm sure I'm not
Exactly.
the only one. I'm not the only one. How many times has somebody sent a text and somebody's took it the wrong way? There's no emotions. You can't hear that person. We are so damn set
Mhm.
on texting that everything is texting, texting, and we have been groomed that way for that reason because you lose that feeling. You lose that connection with that person because you have no feelings. You hear no feelings through freaking text, through message. If you can't be there with me in person, give me a
Exactly.
call. I'll talk to you for a little bit. I don't like talk on the phone very
Yeah.
long. I'll be honest with you. You know, more than 5 minutes, and I'm getting irritated because I hate being on that stupid phone. But I'll sit there and talk to you. At least we can hear emotion that way. You know, people just don't understand that anymore. They've lost that.
Exactly. Exactly. And this is just, I just wanted to get this stuff off. Yeah, I just wanted to get this stuff off our chest out there and let everybody know that, that these things are going on. Um, yeah, and it's up to them to believe it or not. They can do their own research. I'm sure you'll find that there are several mysterious, unexplained, almost almost too quickly reports of people becoming unalived from natural causes and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking like famous people. Okay. Well, these are the people that have probably had a little bit too much involved
Mm-hmm.
into what we're talking about. Okay. So with that being said, um, Jonaside's got a question here. I've been told that so many times you don't call or text. It works both ways. They don't
Yeah,
like
you're correct.
that
Uh oh.
answer. Yeah, of course they
Hey,
definitely don't. Um, yeah, I agree with that.
they're messing with your feet again, bro. If you can hear me,
Yeah, they're
as we're
starting to mess with us right
there,
now.
yeah, they don't like the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't like the truth.
Anyways, we're gonna get into our second part of the topic, and that is
Mhm.
the flying humanoid thing, guys. It has become something ever since the 1960s, late 60s, with the Mothman sightings. Flying humanoids,
Mhm.
more especially here in America than anything. And one of the cluster areas that I have found more recently than in the past is Pennsylvania has a lot of
Ooh.
them. And along the Atlantic, coast, mid-Atlantic area has a lot of those sightings. Okay, of flying humanoids and stuff. But there for the longest time in Houston, Texas, and that area of the country of Texas, um, they had a lot of these reports, and we're talking all the way back into the 60s. We're talking flying humanoids that were described as gargoyles, flying humanoids that were described as Mothman, flying humanoids that were described as bat-looking things, like half human, half bat, like a vampire. Um, all kinds of weird, bizarre flying humanoids. And
Mhm.
I'm going to post some pictures, and I don't know. I just, I want to see what everybody thinks. So if Eric, if you could start that off, I would appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm waiting on that deal to pop up there. Batman. Yeah, that to me looks like Mothman. I can't read it. The thing's so small, I can't read what it says. But what are they trying to say it is? Is that one of those
Yeah, they're just trying to say that it's a flying
Batman?
humanoid. Yeah, it looks like a bat is what they're trying to say. Yeah. Then there's this
What
one.
look at gargoyles. So many times gargoyles has been described that way.
Yeah.
Bat-like
Yeah,
wings.
true, very true. This was the 24th of January 1976. Diamondville,
Oh, 14.
Texas. Okay. At 10:30 p.m. This thing was spotted. And it looked like a humongous bat to whoever this was that described this sighting. Now we all know that there's the flying fox out there that can get to be like 4 feet tall and all this other crap. I don't believe it. They could misconstrue this 6 foot to 7 foot tall thing with a flying fox. But that's just me. There have been sightings of, like I said, gargoyles type of looking creatures in Texas. And usually it's between just the nighttime hours. Okay. It's not broad daylight that these are seen. It's usually from dusk till dawn, and then they disappear.
Huh. That's the same time as gargoyles.
Exactly. So are they this one and the same thing? That's my question.
Or is that where the concept of gargoyles came from? I mean, gargoyles was started over in France,
Yeah.
and did they get their imagery or their stuff from these type of creatures? That's what makes me wonder. Or I mean, I don't know. I mean, it can go either way on that. I mean, these things are interesting. I personally have never seen anything like this before. So I mean, I have no dog in the fight when it comes to that. But I mean, is that what we're looking at? Are we looking at something that's totally different, or are we looking at something that's called one thing in one spot and another thing in another spot, like so many of these other things are? And they'll tell you, "Oh no, ours
Well,
is the
here's
first,
the
ours
weird
is the true way," but that's not necessarily true.
here's the weird thing, Eric. That one time that I went outside at night, it was like 1:30 in the morning, and I was checking on the fire that I had for the podcast earlier that evening, because I did the podcast outside on the live. And I went out just to check to make sure the fire was completely out. So in case the wind kicked up, it didn't, start another fire. And I had that thing take off from the roof of my home and literally swoop down towards my head, literally a couple feet off the top of my head, and then took off into the silhouetted night sky. And this thing was big, and the only thing I could tell was it was like human size, but it was jet black, and I mean blacker than black. But it literally had like they're describing here with like the bat wings. And here's a picture that I want everybody to see firsthand, and this tells you about some of the weird flying shit that's around our house. Okay. This was in broad daylight. This was just before the sun sets, like an hour or two before the sun sets. That my son took a picture of this outside in our field. And I thought this was just kind of peculiar when I bring it up here. It literally looks like a pterodactyl.
That does. I'm waiting for it to pop up on my big screen. Damn, that does look. Is that a crane? I mean, because I know cranes could be misinterpreted as a pterodactyl, but man, that thing does look like a pterodactyl.
That was exactly. It certainly does. And they didn't just have the big pterodactyls that had 20-foot wingspans. They had the ones that were like 5 feet tall, humanoid size. Maybe this is what people are seeing, and I'm maybe not all the accounts of it, but at least this account that we got a picture of. This is a legitimate picture, guys. This was literally taken in my backyard. okay, looking towards the west, towards the mountain range.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, are these things starting to come down from the mountains at certain periods of the year? Maybe, you know, but this was in the middle of summer.
Mhm.
So you would think that they would have hunting opportunities up on the mountaintops just as well as they would in the valleys.
Yeah. And the thing is let me get back to the chat here. Who was it that said it? I think it was Joanne. Uh, uh, Someone who said something about the church. I'm trying to find it.
Hey, I got to put Jacob down,
Yeah.
guys. I'll be right back. I'm going to put you down, buddy. Hold on.
Yep, it was Joanne. They were thought of as protectors of the church, I think, and you're exactly right. Are we dealing with something that the church once again used to fit their narrative to change things? Because they did that all the time. The Vatican was notorious for changing things that people believed in to make it fit their narrative. Is that what we're dealing with these gargoyles? And then who else? Someone else made a comment here. Let me find it again. Bounty, I agree with you. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Yeah, Bounty. Said gargoyles have to come from something. Makes me wonder. I believe human body can turn to stone, but can statues be turned back? I think they can. It's really been bothering me lately. I have no idea why. And it that's also something to consider. But could the church have found out how to turn them into stone, and then they repurposed them to run the water away from the foundation of the church, as ways of hiding these things from the people? That's something to consider as well. Hey, they basically the Medusa effect. They figured out how to turn them to stone, and then they would take the heads and carve them out and run water to them to get them away from the foundaries of the church. And this is what they are now. Is that also something that could be happening with them? Yeah, it's possible. When Nod's wife was turned to a pillar of stone of salt, obviously this type of stuff was happening back in the days of the biblical times. So, the church got a hold of that technology. It's very well possible that's what could be going on. I'm not saying that's true, but it's something to consider. I don't know. They were the Catholic I went in Liberty, Missouri had gargoyles on it. Yeah, a lot of them did. That came from the church. The gargoyles came from the church in France. Like trees, sometimes they have inclusions way beyond pareidolia. They look like things trapped in trees. Well, yeah, look at the dryads, the Fey dryads, the fairies that live in trees. And they tell you that if you see a tree that has like a human-like face, that's a home of a dryad. All this stuff is old world knowledge that people try to hide. Think about it. I think it's the Russians that had that technology that could turn people into a pillar of stone. This stuff has been going around a long time. Medusa was known for doing it. So many things throughout our ancient history was known for doing this type of stuff. Is it an alien weapon? Is it an ancient civilization weapon? Is it a form of magic? All of it's damn good possibilities. Look at the melted cities. Yeah, turning things to stone and such. It is just a molecular modification of switching things around. Once again, they call it ancient tech. Yeah, I see pareidolia. A lot of times people do, man. A lot of times people do. Some pareidolia spirits. That's possible, Christopher. Absolutely, that's possible. So, we have to consider this stuff. Is that what we're dealing with? Is these gargoyles? Is it a real thing that turns to stone? I don't think the gargoyles on a church are that type of thing, but I believe the concept of it is behind it. Or is it something that the church learned how to to unalive and repurpose and now say, hey, this is what this actually is. I believe all those are good possibilities.
Exactly. Is it something that DARPA brought back through their research, that basically cloned back into existence? I mean, it could be so many different things. So, hey, I wanted to do something real quick. I wanted to show you guys something that I actually got. It was sent to me, and I think it is probably one of the greatest tools that can be used to study, or to go out and investigate certain weird phenomena. And I'm gonna do a full review on it, but it is literally a 300-watt light. Okay, now this light is awesome. Okay, it's rechargeable, so you can charge it. It lasts like up to 15 hours on full mode. I'll read a little bit about it. I just wanted to show you guys this. This light is freaking incredible. It's LED. It's called a work light, but it's solar chargeable. Okay, it recharges with the solar. It's waterproof, and it's literally, I'm just telling you guys that I got this. I'm not endorsing the product. I don't make any money from this, so don't assume that. But it has a carrying handle or a stand. Okay, and the controls are up top. Okay, and you can literally watch this, Eric. This is something. Okay, you have your. I don't want to shine it directly into the light, into this.
Wow.
That's one of the settings. Then it has a yellow amber setting. Then it has the bluish white setting. And then it has this. Check this out. Next, it flashes red and blue. So if you actually, and my whole thought on this is, my research when it comes to patterns, my whole thought on this, it even comes with a hook. You can hang it off of a tree, is if you want to attract something to bring something in closer to you, why not try unconventional means? Okay. And the red and the blue lights flashing to me screams of emergency vehicle, a first responder vehicle. And, you get a lot of curiosity when you have those types of lights flashing. Okay. And if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you get something like this, you see, there's the solar panel to charge it. It's pretty good size. Let's see, my hand. It's bigger than my hand. So it's a pretty good size, and it has its own charging cord and everything, USB cord. But this thing is phenomenal, man. And you can actually screw it. If you have a stand, you can put it on like a tripod stand. It's phenomenal. And the fact that it's something that you can take with you, and as long as it's a sunny day, you can charge it on its own. You don't have to worry about plugging it in to charge it. I think it's a good idea to have. I think it's a really good idea to have this, guys. I think it has multiple levels of usage, especially when you're dealing with cryptid, the UFO, UAP phenomena. When you're dealing with the paranormal, you can also use it for that. I think there's all kinds of uses for something like this. Okay. This isn't an expensive thing. It is literally called the Cynear rechargeable work light. Okay. And it's the 300-watt one. It's a work light. It's great for night fishing, camping out, late night barbecues, vehicle repairs, for garage work, power failures. and also it helps out during natural disasters. But this thing was very, very inexpensive, very, very inexpensive, and I think the world of it. And if you guys were to check it out, check it out. It's SINEAR, and it's an LED floodlight, rechargeable, solar rechargeable, and plug-in USB rechargeable. So technically, you could probably plug it into, a power bank or something like that. But when it comes to reliability out there doing investigations, I think we all need to look at stuff like this. I really do. And for what, a $20 bill, I mean, you can't go wrong, But I'll be doing a full review on that later on in the week to get more into detail with it. I just thought that was really cool when I got that, and it seems to the light combination that it flashes would attract anything. And we've all done it before. We've all seen lights in the skies, and we shine flashlights up, or to try and get it to do something or to react to the flashlight beam. Just think about this thing doing that while you're doing an investigation out there with some of the stuff in the sky that you see. Even the winged cryptid stuff, the flying humanoids. You never know, man. Every little bit of equipment, when you try it, you never know what kind of results you'll get. So I just thought that was cool. I wanted to show everybody before I forgot. And, I'm starting to run out of air to talk, but let's keep this going. As far as I'm going to put the picture up. I have a picture of that light too that I'm going to post so you guys can see what the box looks like on it, at least.
Oh, yeah.
But it's really, really something. The fact that there's more than to the flying humanoids than just what we see. I mean, there's so many pictures out there of things that are, I mean, even this, this is something that is really bizarre. Okay. Yeah. At the distance we're at, even if it was at the light pole, that thing would be at least a couple feet tall. Okay. Could it be a bird at that distance? No, because this person stated to me that this photograph, when it was taken from a great distance. Okay. That they were standing at that street corner by a parking lot, and something caught their eye, and they looked up and they snapped a video of it real quick off of their phone. And this is one of the still images that they had. And blowing it up, you can clearly see that it's not a bird, because if it was a bird, it wouldn't be shaped like that. Okay. Birds just don't shape like that. The body part of it would be a lot smaller. Okay. So what is it? That's the thing. And then you get reports of stuff like this from Texas, Houston, Texas, to be correct, where these things are reported. And I believe that something like this was even reported in, where was it? Somewhere around you, Eric, in maybe Illinois area, or somewhere around that area. I can't remember where, but it was said to give off a light. Is it something supernatural? It
Possibly.
Could be. I don't know. I just thought that was very, very unusual, those two pictures, and I wanted to put them up there before we got done today. If there's anything else that anybody wants to discuss, please message me. You can message me on the YouTube channel. Okay. I'll be using Messenger on Facebook as best as I can. I don't, like I said, Facebook is coming down. I'm done with them. I'm done with their BS. And I don't endorse anybody keeping Facebook for very long because things are going to change. Okay. And it isn't going to change to our betterment. Okay. So it's only going to get worse. So, but if you can follow me here on X and follow the channel here on YouTube. And we also have a Rumble channel where Eric and I usually talk about the more politically and conspiracy theory stuff a lot more stronger. But I felt today the need was to start off the conversation with what we did, and then get into the paranormal. And I'm glad we did. You know, again, I've got to read this, so please bear with me, everybody. Okay, I've got to read this. Post it too, because it's the end of the program. As always, we claim fair use of all content under the Copyright Act of 1976. Furthermore, I wish to acknowledge that not all the opinions and the theories mentioned during the podcast are not necessarily the opinions or the viewpoints of Nighthawk Eye Stranger's podcast channel, or AKA William Nighthawk, or even Eric Testerman for that matter, and the Bizarre and the Unknown. We'll throw that in there too. We'll let him, decide whether he agrees or disagrees. For all you out there. If you can, we at Nighthawk Eye Stranger's YouTube channel and the X channel merely bring the open format of discussion for the possibilities of topics happening in the past, present, and future. Please join the Nighthawk Eye Stranger's YouTube channel family and the X family now. Okay, so you can start seeing them on X by subscribing, and please hit that like button and do what you can to help support get the word out that what we're doing. And we'll go from there. I want to thank everybody for being here today. I want to wish everybody that has a birthday today a very, very happy birthday. And if you're 109 going on 110, then you're a walking, talking miracle, and I want you on the podcast, okay? So that being said, I don't think I will be doing Friday night shows anymore. And the reason I'm saying that is because they are messing with my technical aspect of things so much Friday nights. I don't know if it's just an overwhelming thing, Friday night thing for the internet provider, that they're getting inundated with stuff and data and stuff over the course of the night. But it really, really messes with the shows. So I'm probably going to be doing a Monday night or a Tuesday night thing. Okay, so that's where that's going to go, but we'll see. For right now, for the time being, definitely Sundays are going to be a thing at noon every Sunday on here. So that being said, I want Eric to let you all know what he's got going on and what kind of books he's got going on, and then we'll go from there.
Well, I just released Reign of the Draugr, Dawn of Armageddon. I think I've got the Kindle side of it fixed. Once they confirm it, then I can put it out on audio. They didn't like one of the categories I had it under. That's what I was dealing with. So that is out. I've been working on a couple others. You can find me on YouTube at the Bizarre and the Unknown. Tonight, I've got a gentleman from Pennsylvania coming on, talking about some experiences he had, some of the photos he's taken. So that'll be tonight at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. Saturday nights at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time is where we do campfire chats. That's a place for you to come in and share your encounters. If you want to come on live, I'll bring you on live. If you want to just talk about it in chat, we'll talk about it in chat. If there's not a whole lot going on encounter wise, we talk about a variety of different. It's just like we're all sitting around a campfire shooting shit, man. It's just a good time. It's a free, it's not a business orientated show. It's strictly, hey, let's talk, and that's what it is. It's created by you subscribers. I was working on a book before the live, Off-Gar Fireforge. So, I've got a couple things I'm working on. trying to write myself out of a hole I put myself in Saga Grimson Book 3, Revenge of the Wendigo. I wrote myself in a hole. I'm trying to figure out how to write myself out of it. And, so yeah, it's becoming a challenge for me right now. But, I write historical fiction, cryptid horrors, historical fictions, modern day cryptid horrors. I write sci-fi, and, so I have fun doing it. No worries, Injindib. I hope I said your name right. But I hope to see you guys there. We'll have a good time, and I hope you guys read my books. If you're interested in my books, go to amazon.com/author/ED Testerman, and rate, comment, buy my books, and share them out. Let's get them out to everybody. If you guys missed it, I was on with Jessica Jones Thursday night. I don't do a whole lot of Thursday night shows anymore. Because my work schedule has changed. I now work Tuesday through Friday instead of Monday through Thursday like I used to. So doing shows during the week is kind of hard because I got to be up at 4:30 in the morning. So with that being said, I hope to see you guys there.
Yep. Everybody take care, and we will see you all next Sunday, definitely at noon Eastern, and possibly Saturday. And I hear somebody just got home and Jacob's freaking out. So have a great Sunday, everybody. Thank you.
Hey, peace, love, and blessings, everyone.
Sky turned black, the stars fell down. United we stand, but we're losing ground. One world beneath the iron fist. Voices silenced, they cease to resist. Echoes of hope in the darkening night, fading whispers of a